Hi! So today we're going to review Almost Got 'Em. It's a Batman card game. I was pretty excited about this because the art is based around animated series. So if you grew up in the 90s like me, then you are super familiar, and possibly one of your first exposures to Batman was the animated series. So there's some more of the art. Keep in mind this is animated series season 1 through 3 art because they did tweak it for the 4th season. Everybody's a little bit longer, more angular. The Joker's color scheme kind of shifts more to darker blacks and blues. He's just a bit creepier. This is my favorite. This is what most people remember for the Joker because it's Mark Hamill as the voice, and this is the series where Harley Quinn debuted. So, you know, kind of one of my favorite things. So, before we get into the game, we're going to discuss a little more of the art and the composition of the game itself. So, what did I just drop? Did I need that? We'll figure it out. Probably. I'm sure I needed it. So the back of the card game. See, Almost Got Him. So there's that. The suits, you have the Ace of Bat symbols. So there's that. The art is kind of lame on the number portions of each suit. So, I mean, and I guess that's kind of traditional. So, like, you know, in a traditional bicycle playing deck, the 2 of diamonds has 2 diamonds and that's it. But I'm a little spoiled as far as card art, so I was a little disappointed. The bat symbol, so your Joker, King, and Queen are fun. So for that, your, not Joker, your Jack. So your Jack is Batman and Robin, your Queen is Batgirl, and your King is Batman. The only thing that kind of annoys me here is why didn't you just make your Jack Robin? That would have made sense. Why does he have to share his card with Batman? I didn't like that. I thought that was lame. And then your hearts are... This seems unnecessary. Like, it's for Harley. It's black and red, and that's fun, I guess. But being that it's hearts, and they didn't use it with diamonds, I thought that was kind of lame if you were going to go for Harley. And I'm unhappy about some of this because, so your Jack is Penguin, which should have been Bud and Lou if you're going to continue a Harley theme. Your Queen is Harley. That's fine. But then your King is Joker and Harley, and again, that felt phoned in. Why didn't you just do a Joker card? That's silly. Which, by the way, the deck does have 2 Jokers, so maybe that's why. But that's stupid to me. I would think most people could tell the difference. And then you do have the diamond suit, which this is a mess to me. So use your Ace of Diamonds. But for your Jack, King, and Queen in this, I saw Mr. Freeze, which I expected based on the color scheme, but he's the Jack. Okay. The Queen is Catwoman. Again, I get it. You want to have Catwoman in the deck. Obviously, you want your villains, but this felt Mr. Freeze themed, so I would have gone with Nora, but fine. And then their King is Two-Face, which in the series, Two-Face is a bigger villain than Mr. Freeze, as far as storyline and plot and episodes, but didn't feel like it fit. And then lastly, your Riddler suit. Question marks. Your Jack is Scarecrow, which is fine. Your Queen is Ivy. Okay, green. And then your King is Riddler. And that made sense. So that's one of the best done suits, except Ivy's only in here because she's green. So those are the cards. Okay. Set those over there. Now, we get into the more fun art, which is the character cards. So we're going to get into what all these are in a second. So your character cards: Joker, Raish, Harley Quinn, which they could have picked a better screen grab, but whatever. Penguin, Poison Ivy. Again, definitely could have picked a better screenshot. Two-Face, this one's good. Riddler, Scarecrow, Bane, Killer Croc, which I love Killer Croc. The Ventriloquist and Scarface, Clayface, Mr. Freeze, and then we're back on the Joker. So with these, every image is a screenshot from the show, which is cool, except you could have done art. Like, I would have liked art. I would have liked something a little more than just a poorly produced screen grab. So, not thrilled with that. And then, I forget what they call these. Oh, yeah, the secret rolls. So, the secret rolls have no art, which is lame. You could have definitely done art, but I get it. I'm being picky. I like art. I typically buy a lot of tarot decks, so art is a big thing, and this is kind of lacking in that department. And then the last things we have is a round sequence and like a note card, roll explanations, and then this, which is the brains token. So, I'm going to read you the description and then kind of go over a couple of things with you and then tell you how I liked the game. So the little blurb is: Batman has disguised himself. This is based on the series, on the episode in the series Almost Got Him, which if you've never seen, it's a hilarious episode. It's a poker game, and that's kind of what you're going to be doing here. Is it's like a poker game. Batman has disguised himself and infiltrated a high-stakes poker game attended by some of Gotham City's most notorious villains. Up to 7 players, which that part's great, and it's also a really short game, so it's really good for party stuff. Up to 7 players will try to craft poker hands that allow them to use their secret special abilities to ferret out the Caped Crusader in their midst. At the end of each round, the lights go out, blackout, and a player's special ability might just turn the game in their side's favor. In this social deduction game, the villains will have to use their wits and cards to figure out which one of them is actually Batman in disguise before it's too late. So, I love that. I love the idea of it being the villains and you not knowing something. Those kinds of games are always some of my favorite. So, let's talk about the game. Okay. So, while the game seems pretty easy, and it is once you get going, it's kind of a pain to set up, especially if the people you're playing with have never played a social deduction game. When I was in elementary school, we used to play Mafia, which had like, I forget even how to play, but it's one of those like thumbs up, and you have a special roll, and there's a couple different parts. So anyway, each player ends up with a secret roll card. One of them has to be Batman in disguise. You know, you don't share your secret rolls, but obviously to win the game, one of the people has to be Batman. When you're starting, Batman will get to look through the unused cards, the unused secret abilities, and it will give them a character and a special ability that they can use to bluff with. Otherwise, they wouldn't have any actions, and it'd be real easy to figure out who was Batman because they'd have no secret ability like the other villains. Villains win as a team. So if villains win, you all win, or Batman wins. Like, there is no Poison Ivy won the game, Harley won the game, you know. Villains have to work as a team, but that's kind of what can mess you up, because Batman is trying to fool you into thinking he's part of your team. So say I had the Batman card, I would be using another villain's ability, and I would be trying to play along and accuse people and vote and be really involved in trying to fool my my other people so that I could win the game. the way Batman wins is Batman has to subdue a certain number of villains depending on how many people are playing the game. And then the villains just have to vote Batman on a voting round. So the Brains token, how the voting gets started, is the person who is playing, who owns the most comic books, will get this. They, when you get to the end of the round sequence, they'll be able to start the accusing. And then it just passes one player. But I thought that was really neat. Overall, playing this with a group, you really need, besides the people playing, like, your minimum is 5, which is a lot. Plus, you really need a moderator on top of that, which, it's the dealer in the game, but it's somebody that checks the abilities, that kind of makes sure everybody's doing their job, and you need a lot of people. It is hard to find enough people that want to play a game like this for too long, so even though it's not an expensive game and it's kind of fun, finding enough people to play with is very rare, and it's not really excuse me, it's not really the game your friends are going to want to play when you have that many people together, even on a board game night. There are better games. There are better Batman games. So all in all, this is fun. It's more of a nostalgia trip than an excellent game. It's okay. So that's my review of the Batman animated series, Almost Got Him. So thanks.